If you're like me and you shoot a lot of content, you're probably going to end up with tons of large files because today's 4K cameras just shoot in such high bit rates. And in this video, we're going to take a look at the SanDisk Professional ProBlade Station, which is designed for content creators and media professionals who need a ton of storage and who are looking for something that's modular. This way you can avoid having a stack of portable SSDs and having to run a bunch of different cables to your computer, and instead you can use one station that has slots for their portable SSDs. Now, SanDisk did send me this ProBlade Station and some other different ProBlade accessories for purposes of making this video, but all the thoughts and comments in this video are my own, and this is based off of my experience using the ProBlade Station. So SanDisk's ProBlade system consists of the ProBlade magazines, and they also have ProBlade transports, which allow you to use them as almost a portable SSD. And then they also have the ProBlade Station, which is what we're taking a look at in this video. SanDisk also has a couple of other HDDs that have a slot for using ProBlades as well. But the SanDisk ProBlade Station retails for about $400 or $500, and it's a way that you can read the portable NVMe SSDs that they have in the ProBlade lineup. And a ProBlade is just a WD black drive that uses a proprietary connector, and it can easily be inserted or removed into the different ProBlade readers. So what's really cool about this is there's different cameras that actually allow you to write directly to an SSD. You can get the Condor Blue handle, or you can use the transport. You can write your files directly to these, or you can also just get a bunch of these compact ProBlades and choose which ones you want to use depending on the project you're using. So the ProBlade Station supports Thunderbolt 3, and it gives you speeds up to about 3,000 megabytes per second on the read and about 2,600 megabytes a second on the write. I wasn't able to quite hit those speeds, but I was able to get very close. The ProBlade Station kind of acts as a dock for your computer, allowing you to use up to 4 ProBlades at the same time. So this makes it really easy to copy footage to multiple drives or to remove it from one drive to the next, or you can have just a ton of these ProBlades and easily be able to access whatever ones you want. This makes a really great edit drive for your computer too because of the Thunderbolt speeds. It's not going to be quite as fast as using the built-in drive on your computer, especially if you're using a newer Mac, but it is still going to give you much faster speeds than you're able to get with your standard external SSDs that only top out at about 1050 megabytes a second. So I've been using this to edit some projects, and it's worked great for me. The ProBlade Station has a really cool minimal design that matches all the other SanDisk professional products. I love the sleek lines on it and the simple white LEDs. Whenever you insert a ProBlade into the station, you do get an indicator light on the bottom of it, and it also blinks to show you when files are being read or written. So you use one Thunderbolt 3 cable to connect this to your computer. It works great with Thunderbolt 4 devices as well. And then you'll just see all the different drives as individual devices from within Finder or wherever you're accessing your files. These drives do come pre-formatted in APFS, so if you want to use it on a Windows computer, you are going to need to reformat the drives. The ProBlade Station comes with the station, a 100-watt USB-C adapter, as well as a 100-watt capable USB-C cable, and you get a Thunderbolt 3 cable as well. And it's really nice that SanDisk color-coded all the connectors on the back, so it makes it easier to plug them in and get them set up with your computer. You can also use the power adapter to power your computer, and the station passes power through to the computer. One thing I don't like about the station, they give you this USB-C power adapter, and they give you all the different plugs on the back so it can be used in whatever country you buy it in. But it's a really bulky power adapter, and it's honestly a little bit annoying to deal with on cable management side. I wish it had some sort of breakaway cable and was just a more standard power adapter instead of putting all the weight directly on the outlet. One of the big advantages of using the ProBlade Station is that there's only one model of SSD available, even though they come in multiple capacities. So it does have a fan built in. You hear the fan when you first turn the station on, but there's no fan noise once you actually are using it, even when you're under heavy read and write loads. I didn't notice any issues with speed slowing down or the drives getting bogged down, even as I was transferring to multiple drives at the same time. The ProBlade magazine drives are actually faster than what any of the readers are able to support, so that means that you're always going to get really good performance, and the built-in fan in it just keeps it really cool as well. So this is a really great, simple, all-in-one solution that's completely modular because you can buy as many ProBlades as you want. You can use up to 4 of them at the same time with the station. On the back of the station, you also get a separate daisy chain Thunderbolt port, so you can attach this to another ProBlade station, a G-RAID mirror, a display, or really any other accessory that you want. The station is kind of big, but it was smaller than I was expecting based on the pictures. It's not going to be a great device to travel with, and I really wish that SanDisk had one of their transports that could support the Thunderbolt speeds, because right now this station is the only way that you can get the 3,000 megabyte speeds on the ProBlades. So if you want to use those fast Thunderbolt speeds, you're going to need the station. And if you're traveling, the station is going to be really annoying to deal with because you're going to need some sort of case or way to transport it. So I do wish there was a Thunderbolt 3 transport that you could use for faster read and write on the go. So if you're going to build out a ProBlade setup, the prices do add up really fast because the station comes in at $500 and the drive prices are all over the place depending on the capacity that you get or the time of year that you buy it, because there's a lot of sales that can be run on them as well. To me, the ProBlade Station is really worth it in the realm of professional video, especially if you're going to be writing a lot of files directly from your camera to the ProBlades, because it's going to allow you to quickly access and edit files from both your Panasonic and Blackmagic cameras. It's also going to be a really great option if you want something that's modular. If you have a pile of SSDs like me and you're just always adding more storage, you can buy the station once and then just start adding the magazines, and they're going to be a really good option just to build out a bigger setup without having a ton of portable SSDs that you're trying to attach to your computer or with a dock, because honestly those can get really annoying to deal with, all the different cables and the docks. Portable SSDs are quite a bit cheaper than these, but these are going to give you better sustained performance because they're designed to run for longer than a lot of those standard SSDs that you buy, either the standard SanDisk Extreme Portables or the ones that Crucial or Samsung have. I love all of those. They're just not really designed for a sustained workload like the ProBlades are. Now, SanDisk does have the Pro G40 external SSD. I personally have the 4TB version of it. I love it, and I use it daily to edit and offload both videos and photos. And that's been a great drive for me. That's a very simple solution. But as my storage needs continue to grow, now I just have a stack of portable SSDs, and I really wish that I could have gotten into the ProBlade system sooner instead of acquiring all these other drives. So if you're starting to get into a system where you're going to have 4 or more drives, then the ProBlade math does start to add up and make sense to get the station, get a transport or two, and then just start collecting the magazines, because it's going to be modular and it's going to offer you really good and reliable performance. SanDisk Professional does give you a 5-year warranty on both the ProBlade Station and on all the magazines too, so they're going to have your back in that regard. Now on the flip side, if you want a little bit more of a DIY solution and you don't want the all-in-one enclosure, OWC does have a Thunderbolt enclosure that has 4 NVMe slots. That only costs $250, and then you can buy whatever NVMe drives you want for it. If you buy the same WD Black SSDs that are in these ProBlades, they're going to be a little bit cheaper than buying the version that is the ProBlade, but it's still going to add up really fast using that OWC setup. And you're going to have no guarantee of the performance because OWC doesn't make both the drives and the enclosure. With the ProBlades, SanDisk manufactures both the station and the drives, so they're able to give you that better guarantee of what the performance is going to look like, even though you are going to save a little bit of money if you go the OWC route. The other issue with the OWC is if you want to swap out SSDs or use more than 4, or just build up a larger collection, it is going to be a little bit more annoying to deal with, because it's really not designed to be hot swappable like the ProBlade Station is. So overall, I really like the SanDisk ProBlade Station setup. I think it's a great option for people who are going to end up with a lot of external drives, especially if you're doing a ton of desktop editing and you need something where you can swap out drives because you're building up a large collection. I think for most people, you should really just look into buying the SanDisk Professional G40 because it gives you that Thunderbolt 3 interface, and it comes in anywhere from $200 all the way up to $400, depending on if you get a 1, 2, or 4 TB model. And there's often a lot of sales going on those too. And the Pro G40 is also a really great drive that's designed to work for a long period of time, and it doesn't bog down with a large workload, unlike some of the other cheaper drives that don't use Thunderbolt. So get into the SanDisk ProBlade Station if you plan on building up a large collection of files and you need a modular system that can support a lot of drives. Otherwise, go with the Pro G40 or a cheaper drive, because most people are not going to need this many drives. Again, the station is not designed for every customer. It's really designed for the kind of people who are buying 4 to 8 or even more SSDs a year who need a good modular system. If you have any other questions about the ProBlade Station or any of the ProBlade devices, leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Also, check out my video where I review the SanDisk Professional G-Raid mirror, and I also have a review of the ProBlade Transport too. Like this video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content.